Hello everybody, this is the iFind channel here. Today I'm going to sleep in Bratislava, Slovakia, and then tomorrow I'm going to hang out in Bratislava before taking the bus to Prague. And as you guys can see, I'm currently at the Hungarian and Slovakian border. After 2.5 hours, I finally arrived in Bratislava over here. This is the main train station, aka Hlavna stanica. And as you guys can see, this is what the city looks like. Now I'm looking for a bus to get to Elizabeth Old Town, which is the hotel I'll be staying at. Okay guys, I'm currently at Elizabeth Old Town. I paid $41.50 for this hotel, which includes city tax. And this is what the hotel looks like. It was supposed to be a single room with interior view, but as you guys can see, let me show you guys the view. Yeah, it is sort of interior, but taking a look, this is a double bed instead of a single bed. Over here is what the whole room looks like. As you guys can see, quite nice. And over here is the restroom. Yeah. So I'm going to be sleeping here for a night, and then I'm going to see you guys soon. Good morning. Now I'm currently at a Vietnamese restaurant over here called Vietnamese Bistro, about a 3-minute walk from the hotel. And as you guys can see, this is what the restaurant looks like. Now I'm going to order something. Okay guys, I paid €6.80 for meal number 6 over there. And let me show you guys the first portion. Now you might have known there are a lot of Vietnamese who live in the Czech Republic. In fact, my father used to study in Prague during the mid-1970s. He actually studied in the Soviet Union in Moscow during the very early 70s, but once he graduated with a medical degree, he went on to study for a public health degree in Charles University in Prague. Over here is the second course of the meal I'm gonna eat, and then I'm gonna see you guys soon in Bratislava. Okay guys, after eating some brunch, why not, I'm going to hang out around the center of Bratislava over here. I visited Bratislava 3 years ago, and yeah, Bratislava is the largest city of Slovakia, and prior to 1993, Bratislava used to be part of Czechoslovakia, and prior to 1990, Bratislava used to be part of the Czechoslovak Socialist Republic. So why not, I'll show you guys some attractions. Okay guys, the first attraction I'm gonna visit is this, which is the Primate Palace, aka the Primate's Palace. This palace was built between 1778 and 1781 in a neoclassical style, and it was built for Archbishop Joseph Bathiani after the design of architect Melchior Hefeli. In 1805, the palace's Hall of Mirrors saw the signing of the 4th peace of Pressburg, ending the War of the Third Coalition. And today, the Bratislava mayor is seated here, and during Slovakia's independence all the way up to 1996, the president of Slovakia used to be seated here. So why not, I'm going to go into the Primate Palace to see what it is all about. And as you guys can see, nearby is the old town hall of Bratislava, and over there is a technical university of Bratislava. Okay guys, I'm now inside the courtyard of the city hall, and over here are some sculptures. Over here is the fountain of 4 pink boys. I'm not even joking, yes. That's what it is. And instead of having any genitals, you instead have hoses here. Okay guys, as you guys can see, I'm not sure if there are any museums inside the Primate's Palace, but I did see an art gallery inside the Primate's Palace. Yeah. As you guys can see, this is the main courtyard, and I do believe it is an equestrian statue. Over here specifically is the fountain of St. George. Over here is information pertaining to the peace of the Pressburg, but unfortunately all of this is in German. Unfortunately, no pictures, videos allowed, so let me talk to you guys about the palace. As you guys can see, in the palace it does show the list of mayors, starting from Jacobus all the way in the 13th century to today's mayor. And also, you could find like some paintings and stuff inside There's 17 different rooms. And fun fact about this palace, not only is there a brown room or green room or red room or blue room or anything. In fact, Pope John Paul II actually visited this palace in 1998. In my opinion, this palace is what, €3? But why not? I'm going to go in here, which is the old town hall of Bratislava. Fun fact, in the Primate Palace you could find out room 11, which is a chapel, and an older building built on that same site was built in 1340 but was subsequently destroyed. Over here is the old town hall exhibition of city history. Okay guys, I'm currently in Hlavnia Nemesti, which is literally main square, and this square used to be called the Adolf Hitler Square during World War II, but then after World War II and during communism, this was called the 4th of April Square, named so because Slovakia was liberated by the Red Army on that day, and now it's called the main square ever since, aka Hlavnia Nemesti. And over there is the Roland Fountain, aka the fountain of Maximilian II, and as you guys can see, Maximilian II was in a knighted armor, and he ordered the construction of this fountain in 1572 for the water supply of Bratislava. And as you guys can see, over there is the Maximilian Choco Cafe, and you can find a Starbucks as well. And over there is the old town hall of Bratislava, and over there is a Jesuit church, the Church of the Most Holy Savior. And fun fact, Maximilian II was the king of Royal Hungary. And even though I did criticize Bratislava for looking slightly uglier than, say, Prague or Vienna, Budapest, as my hotel was actually in the ugly side of town. In fact, this part, the main square, is quite ornate, to be honest. As you guys can see, not only ornate, it is also quite quaint as well. And over there is the old town hall. Let me discuss to you guys about the old town hall. Okay guys, the Bratislava Old City Hall is the oldest city hall in all of Slovakia, and the tower was built in 1370, making it one of the oldest stone buildings on all of Bratislava. And the city hall, the rest of the town hall, was built in the 15th century by adjoining 3 different townhouses to create one building. And inside you would see the Bratislava Museum, which first opened in 1868, being the oldest museum in all of Bratislava. So why not, I'm going to go to the Bratislava City Museum to show you guys what it is all about. Now you do have to go through this gate to get to the City Museum, but let me show you guys the location of the City Museum. Over here it is. I'm now in the City Museum, and over here is a wood carving of Saint Stephen. I'm not sure if this is the very same Saint Stephen as in Hungary, but as you guys can see, you can see some paintings over here and even some more artifacts. Over here is another statue of Saint Stephen, and you could see some wood carvings dedicated to, you guessed it, religious figures, as well as even more over here. Over here is Saint Emeritus. And fun fact, the Bratislava City Museum held a large collection of sacred objects even before 1945, and much of the collection actually took place during the interwar period and during the Second World War. Over here, example of chasuble, and over here some religious paintings and artworks. Most of them come from the 17th and 18th centuries. Over here some altars, and over here chalices and reliquaries. Okay guys, over here is the old tower. I'm now going to go to the town hall tower, which I do believe is in this door over here, and you do have to climb up a set of stairs. As you guys can see, yeah, it is a spiral staircase, so there might be a chance it could fall, but as you guys can see, the steps are quite simple, basically more simple than that of many cathedrals, to go up to the top of the dome. And over here is the tower, similar to the astronomical clock tower. I'm not sure if you can see the top or not, but as you guys can see, over here is a room. Now this room is specifically Dr. Ovidius Faust's study room over here, and he was known as the town archivist and was head of the scientific institutes of the town of Bratislava. Municipal Archive, Town Museum and Scientific Library during the interwar period, which means between World War I and World War II. And in this post, he introduced a more sophisticated system for archiving, transformed the museum into an institution of regional history, and laid down the foundations of the scientific library in Bratislava. And through his knowledge of Latin, German and Hungarian, he became a noted expert in the history of Bratislava. And over here is his room, and you can see a typewriter. And fun fact, he was actually born in the end of the 19th century and died somewhere around the early 1970s. But still, we do have to go up one more flight of stairs. Yeah, it does seem quite steep, to be honest, but yeah. And instead of having any stair rope, you have ropes instead. And yeah, and you would see two bells over here. And let me show you guys some more. Okay, guys, in the 14th century, Bratislava was already encircled by fortification walls, but sometime in the 1350s, Jacob II, a descendant of Mayor Jacob I, who was the first mayor to be listed in Bratislava, commissioned a house with a tower at the northern corner of the eastern row of houses. And with Jacob I's house, combined with several other buildings, it became known as the town hall. And in the 1430s, the Hungarian king Sigismund of Luxembourg commissioned the construction of a new royal palace in a castle above the town. And if you can see over there is the Bratislava Castle. And over here is what the city plan looks like several hundred years ago. And on the site of the medieval burgher house in the neighborhood of the town hall, a Protestant church was erected sometime in the 1630s. And there was an earthquake which struck Bratislava twice, in 1586 and in 1590. Now, because this is quite short at around 175 centimeters, you would have to duck your head in and go up a flight of stairs. Yes, with ropes as railings, I'm not even joking. And I do believe you could see a view of Bratislava from up here, but I'm not too sure. Yes, there's even one more flight of stairs. In 1733, the fire struck the upper part of the tower and subsequently destroyed it. And in the ensuing years, the tower was restored in the Baroque style, and the only things which survived in the original state were the combined windows in the Gothic style on the first floor and the Renaissance stone rail. And in the past 300 years, there were only minor changes up to 1967. And here are some fun facts about the town hall and the museum. You could find the municipal archives, the armory, scales, and even prison. And up to 1548, a mill was housed in the town hall. Okay, guys, one more flight of stairs would lead you to the very top floor. I'm not sure if it's the very top, but it does seem quite steep and arduous. I'm scared I might fall. But as you guys can see, nope, it's still not even the top. Okay, guys. You could see a nice view of Bratislava over here, starting at this point. I later found out because this door is locked, this is the very top floor here. Okay, guys, in 1903, the town purchased the Primate's house, a former residence of the Archbishop from the Esztergom Archdiocese, and then it became essential to join the old town hall and the recently bought palace by means of a building linking the two. And over here, plans to extend the building because the old town hall was insufficient to fit all the municipal offices. And between the 1650s and 1767, there was a wooden structure which served as the municipal guardhouse. But then in 1767, a fire destroyed the guardhouse. I'm now going to open the door to show you guys the view of Bratislava, which is quite scenic from up here. Oh, I nearly hit my head here because I'm 5'7". Okay, guys, as you guys can see, over there is the Primate Palace. And as you guys can see, I'm not sure what it is, but it is quite scenic from up here. And you could find out the main square, Klavnia Nemesti, and you could also see the Bratislava Castle from all the way here. I'm not even joking. And you could see the main square over here. And yeah, this is what the skyline of Bratislava looks like, and you could even see the UFO gate as well. Now over there is Michael's Gate, and the whole building complex over there is the Jesuit church. Over here is an exhibition related to Hanna Gregorova, and over here some her walks. As you guys can see, she was a feminist, and during the Nazi years she joined the Czech opposition, an opposition which was heavily persecuted by the Nazi regime during the World War II. Over here memorabilia pertaining to Hanna Gregorova, and I do believe this is her image, but I'm not too sure. And over here some her embroidery, as you guys can see. And over here Gregorova's clothes and accessories. Those are Hanna Gregorova's notebooks. And we're now in the archive room, and from the medieval period all the way up to the 18th century, documents of the municipal archives were held in the town hall, and up to 1948 all of the most valuable written documents, including the charter privileges from 1291, the donation charter of the city coat of arms from 1436, as well as the oldest plants of the town, were archived in this room over here. And as you guys can see, over there are some of the most valuable documents. The premises where the precious written documents were safely protected against fire were fitted with special custom-made cabinets with deep storage compartments and barred wooden doors over here. Over here are some of the most important documents. Now, the first is actually the privilege of Andrew III in 1291, the oldest surviving privilege. And then over here is the coat of arms of Bratislava in 1436. And this is about the economy of Bratislava. Now over here is a translation of the coat of arms. And I'm not sure what this language is over here. If it's Slovakian or some like really antiquated language. Over here even more documents, and a long time ago, instead of using pens, people use this, which is a feather, to write. Now this room pertains to the history of the museum. Over here was the original donation box for the city museum, and the first attempts to create a city museum was in the 1850s. Exactly 157 years ago, this museum was founded by the Bratislava Embellishment Association. Over here was some of the donors prior to the end of World War I. As you guys can see, these were what they looked like. Over here are some artifacts pertaining to the city museum. And fun fact, this city museum was founded by Josef Konyocki. Now this room refers to the courthouse, as you guys can see, with some ornate frescoes. Now in this room you would see the council hall, and adjacent to the council hall is the St. Ladislaus Chapel. Over there are three coat of arms. This is of the Bratislava region, this is of Bratislava, and this is of Slovakia. And as you guys can see, over there is the St. Ladislaus Chapel, and the medieval chapel of the municipal council, started above the gate to the town hall, is dedicated to King Ladislaus, the patron saint of Hungary. It was constructed shortly before 1443 when the municipal council greeted Denis, the Archbishop of Graz. The original decoration, the figure of two saints, probably Americus and Nicholas, is still partially visible on the walls of the east-facing outer niche over there. And over here is the clock tower. As you guys can see, this is what the tower looks like, and it was built up around 1374 as part of a burglar house belonging to the family of Mayor Jacobus, and its original purpose was to be used as a shelter for Slovakians, and it is also used for storing precious goods of Bratislava. Even though you might think this is chess, in fact these are municipal seals as well as some memorabilia related to Bratislava. Over here is the coat of arms of Bratislava, and you can find some artifacts pertaining to Bratislava over here. And over there are town banners, and this over here is the uniform of the municipal guard, and this is what the old town hall looks like in the very early 20th century. And some of these are mayors of Bratislava over the years, including some of the older ones, Christoph Burgstaller, from all the way in the 18th century, and over here was the mayor of Bratislava during World War II. Now here are some fun facts about Bratislava. Due to the fact the Turks invaded Hungary, therefore the capital of the Hungarian kingdom moved up to Pressburg, aka present-day Bratislava, and over here are some coronations which were held in Bratislava of Hungarian kings. Over here is Maximilian II, and all the way here is Ferdinand V. And this is a portrait of Maria Theresa, and this is what Bratislava looks like in 1800. Over here is the family tree of the Manguson family, and here you can find our 18th century clothing in more detail. Over here are some artworks and pottery pertaining to Bratislava. And let me show you guys this room over here. And as you guys know, just like in other big cities, trading is really important. In fact, trading in Bratislava started all the way in the Middle Ages. And as you guys can see, here are some like artifacts. Some of them are quite recent, just like these, as you guys can see. And yeah, quite recent to be honest. Over here even contains more artifacts, and I do believe this is for medicine, but I'm not too sure. And finally, this is an exhibition related to shooting, as well as biking over here. Yes, bikes in the 19th century really look like this. And as you guys can see, I do believe this has to do with sports, but I'm not too sure. And over here is Isabella. Okay guys, let me talk about the Danube River, as the Danube River actually formed a boundary of the Roman Empire as well as several other empires, including the Third Reich and the Iron Curtain, as well as several others. Not only that, it also played a role of communication between the diverse civilizations and cultures which met along the banks. Now I'm in the section which depicts the typical furniture of a house in the early 20th century. Over here is some silverware, as well as dishes and plates. And as you guys can see, over there is a dining table, and over there is a sewing table. Yes, people do sew clothing back in the early 20th century. Over here are 20th century clothing. And as you guys can see, over there are board games, and here even more stuff and memorabilia. And over here are photographs of various people during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Over here toys, and here's some photographs of children. Over here is what a typical residential block would look like before the end of World War I. And over here is a villa for the bourgeoisie. And after the end of World War I, new construction started to develop. As you guys can see, now these look more like some of the comic block houses, quite simplistic, but these are for the proletariat. And of course, this is for the intelligentsia and the bourgeoisie. Okay guys, over here is a section depicting education. And as you guys can see, these are some yearbook pictures from the 20th century. And over here will be typical schoolrooms, as well as a class photo, as you guys can see. And these were what typical schools looked like in Slovakia during the early 20th century. Unfortunately, no printed works in Bratislava survived prior to the 16th century, but the oldest surviving printed work in Bratislava was somewhere around the 16th or 17th century. And over there are some theater uniforms and military uniforms, and over there are some musical instruments. And Bratislava actually came by several different names before, such as Pressburg, Pozsony, Pressburg, and became part of the Czechoslovak Republic in 1919. It was a democracy until the Nazis annexed Slovakia, and then after World War II, Slovakia then came into the Soviet sphere of influence, and then in 1989, when communism collapsed, Communism also collapsed in Slovakia, and in 1993, Slovakia and Czech Republic actually split in two, and in 2004 both joined the EU, and in 2007 both joined the Schengen area. Unfortunately, I spent way too much time at the City Museum. It is now 2 p.m. I'm not even joking. So I have like 3 more hours remaining until I have to catch a bus all the way to the Czech Republic. And over here some medieval ice pits. And this is used to cool food during the medieval era. At the end of the winter, the ice pit was filled with ice, which lasted right up to the start of the next winter. And fun fact, these cooling facilities form a part of every Gothic house, and it served the private needs of house owners. And funny thing was, during the medieval era, the justice was so powerful that when the judge ruled something, even the king could not intervene on it. Court proceedings began with the victim pressing charges. The mayor took legal action only in case of killing or murder. With the exception of robbery, a mutual settlement was applied between the parties, the so-called composition, usually in the form of financial compensation. If a settlement was agreed, the case was considered as closed. The members of the municipal court were the mayor. From the 15th century, his role was reduced solely to the execution of justice, and 12 representatives of the municipal council, and the town jurisdiction applied only to the burghers, aka middle class. The clerics had their own religious courts, and criminal law was also enforced by the guilds. Over here is what the municipal prison looked like, and it was only since 1370 when the town had its prison, which was situated in the rear part of the extension to Mayor Jacob's house. And over here is a person. His name is Nicholas Drabik, and he was a Moravian Breton preacher and visionary, and he was jailed here. And fun fact, he was executed in 1671 at the age of 84. Now over here is what the prison looks like. Unfortunately, it's really dark, and yeah, it's quite dark inside, but you could see what it looks like. And yeah, it is definitely extremely Spartan and not at all comfortable. Definitely even less comfortable than like prisons in North Korea, let alone Norway. There are several types of punishments, including fines, forced labor, expulsion from the town in order to take part in the pilgrimage, amputation, hanging, as well as decapitation by sword, breaking on a wheel, and several others, even burning and drowning, to be honest. And of course, prison. I'm not even joking, capital punishment during the medieval era and even early modern era were very draconian. Unfortunately, I spent way too much time at the City Museum that I only have 3 hours remaining in Bratislava. Okay guys, I spent like more than 2 hours at the City Museum, and over here is a sculpture. Now this sculpture was envisioned by Victor Hulik, and it was erected in 1997. Yes, and this shows a person, a walker inside a manhole. I'm not even joking. And over here it is. As you guys can see, it's quite idiosyncratic, but you could actually touch this, and I do believe this is some type of bronze or something. I'm not too sure, but it is a clock of Bratislava. And let me remind you guys, the statue is called Chumil. And as you guys can see, the city center does look quite dope. And over here, I do believe, is a historic Slovakian restaurant over here. And you could see this, which I do presume is of some monarch or something. Unfortunately, at this restaurant, you do have to spend at least 13 euros per person. And over here is the Bratislava pub. Over here is another weird monument. This is Monument Kozo. Now over here it is, the Michael's Gate. Now there are 7 floors, and this gate reaches a max height of 51 meters. And fun fact, because this gate was built in 1300, it is one of Bratislava's oldest surviving buildings, as you guys can see, and the only surviving part of the Bratislava fortifications. And in its current style, it is in the Baroque style, because of some modifications. And Saint Michael and the dragon are on the top. What I meant was in the 1758 reconstruction, the statue of Saint Michael and the dragon are on the top of the gate. The first written document of the existence of the Saint Michael's Gate was in 1411, but the building existed as early as like the 13th century. I'm not even joking. And now this is one of the entry and exits to the city via the fortifications. When the fortifications were still here, but now the fortifications are gone. But as you guys can see, this is Bratislava, and it definitely looks a lot better than outside the city center. And up there is the gate. Now here you can find the distances to several different places, including the North Pole, Helsinki, Warsaw, Tokyo, Moscow, Beijing, Seoul, Hong Kong, Sydney, Jakarta, as well as Budapest. And you could even find out to Istanbul, Jerusalem, Sofia in Bulgaria, Cairo, Egypt, Athens, Pretoria, which is in South Africa, as well as the South Pole. And you could also find Rome in Italy, Buenos Aires in Argentina, Madrid, Lima in Peru, Vienna, as well as Brussels, London, New York, and Toronto, and Prague, Berlin, as well as Copenhagen and Oslo. And the reason why you see Barbican here is because the St. Michael's Gate was the centerpiece of the fortifications, which includes 2 rings of the city wall, the 2 bastions, as well as several different gates, and even a fallen bridge over the water moat. And of course the Barbican, and over there is the coat of arms of Bratislava, and over there is the other side of the St. Michael's Gate. And on the very top of the tower you would see a statue of St. Michael, but I don't have time to go to the very top of the tower as I only have a few hours remaining. But as you guys can see, here are the opening hours for the Red Crayfish Pharmacy. And ironically, it is closed today, which is kind of unfortunate, as today is the only day I'm in Bratislava. Yeah, kind of unfortunate, but this is the whole Michael's Gate. It is quite dope and does make up the scenery of Bratislava over here. And you've guessed it, the Michael's Gate was named after the St. Michael's Church. I'm now out of the Michael's Gate, and here is the old Cathedral of St. John of Martha and St. Felix of Valois. In its short form, it is called the Trinity Church, and it is a Baroque style church which was sanctified in 1727 after a 10-year-long construction by the Trinitarian Order, and it was built on the site of an older church of St. Michael, which was demolished in 1529 during the Ottoman Wars. And as you guys can see, this is what the church looks like. Unfortunately, the cathedral entrance is barricaded. As you guys can see, yeah, you can't even go inside the cathedral and take a look at it. But based on my observations, the interior is quite ornate, just like any Catholic church in the Baroque style. Now, close to the cathedral is the Grasokovic Palace, aka the Presidential Palace. And this has been used as a presidential palace of Slovakia since 1996. But this palace was built in the Rococo style in 1760. And over there is a spear of some sort. Now over here is the Planet of Peace fountain. And this modernist building houses several banks, including the Tatra Bank as well as the Raiffeisen Bank. Over here is a military procession in the presidential palace. Over here is the presidential garden, and inside the presidential garden you would find a statue of John Neopunk Hummel, who was a Czechoslovak composer. And fun fact, during the 18th and 19th centuries, this palace was used for music venues. And another fun fact was Joseph Haydn, yes, a classical era composer, actually performed some pieces in this palace, the presidential palace. Over there is just a playground. Okay guys, this is the full view of the presidential garden, and it is quite underwhelming considering it is a presidential garden. I would believe this is more of a city park or something, like say the Boston Common or even several others such as the Borisa Gradina, Lumfini Park and Taudem Park, but this is more reminiscent of a city park rather than say a royal garden. And fun fact, Bratislava was only called Bratislava since 1919, so after my father's parents were born. Unfortunately, I could not find a statue of Homo, so why not? I'm going to leave. Over here are the government offices of Slovakia, and over there is the Freedom Square. As you guys can see, this is what the Freedom Square looks like. Okay guys, here's some fun facts about the Freedom Square. The Freedom Square is a major square in Bratislava. During medieval times, it was covered with vineyards, and the Summers Archbishop's Palace for the Archbishops of Esztergom, aka the Episcopal Summer House, was built in the square in the 17th century, and over there it is. And today the Slovak government offices are housed there. The square, aka the Freedom Square, was called Gottwaldovo during communism in honor of Clemens Gottwald, the first communist president of the Czechoslovak Socialist Republic. After the 1989 Velvet Revolution, the name changed to Freedom, and the biggest fountain on Bratislava was built in 1980, and I do believe it's there. And unfortunately, the fountain is not spewing any water at this moment, as you guys can see, but it does function as a park, by the way. I'm now on the way to the St. Martin's Cathedral, and over here is a head bust of Joseph Haydn, who visited Bratislava, and over there is the Bratislava Castle. Unfortunately, I don't have enough time to visit the Bratislava Castle, but I would want to tell you guys a story about the Bratislava Castle. After 20 minutes of walking, I finally arrived very close to the St. Martin's Cathedral. Over there is the Church of the Elevation of the Holy Cross, which is also a Gothic church. And over here is a cobbled road, and I do believe this is one of the older residential neighborhoods of Bratislava. And over here it is, the St. Martin's Cathedral. Now the spire reaches a height of 85 meters, making it the largest church in all of Bratislava. It was first consecrated in 1452. It was built in the Gothic style, and it houses the Archdiocese of Bratislava. So why not? I'm going to go in to show you guys what the cathedral is all about. As you guys can see, I'm not sure if the door is open or not, but it says caution. Okay guys, yeah, luckily did go in safely, and over here is the cathedral. As you guys can see, it is quite ornate inside, and the entrance cost is free, unlike that of the Matthias Church. And you could find out some statues as well over here. Yeah, some stained glass. It is quite dope inside. Over there is the pipe organ, and as you guys can see, over there is the main altar. It is definitely very dope in here. And the temperature, I do believe it is somewhere around 15 degrees Celsius inside, but not too sure. But as you guys can see, it is extremely immaculate, as well as ornate, just like any Gothic church throughout Europe. This cathedral also houses the remains of Saint John the Merciful, who died in the 7th century, and over here where you lay your incenses. Over here is a depiction of Saint Martin. And here's my last view of the church. As you guys can see, it is extremely dope in the inside, so why not? I'm just gonna go out. Now lastly, in this church, I just wanted to show you guys this, which is an extensive list of the Hungarian kings who lived in Bratislava, Slovakia. Due to the fact I left my bags at a hotel, and the hotel is on the way to the bus station, therefore I'm now returning to the hotel to get my bags. But first off, let me show you guys the Blue Church. Unfortunately, the Blue Church is still a 15-minute walk away, so I'll show you guys it later. Okay guys, the very last attraction I'm gonna show you guys is the Blue Church over here, aka the Church of Saint Elizabeth, and it is consecrated to Saint Elizabeth of Hungary, who was the daughter of Andrew II. And fun fact, they grew up in the Pressburg Castle, and the reason why it is called the Little Blue Church is because of the blue appearance. I'm not even joking. As you guys can see, it does look quite sky blue, and why not? I'm going to go in to show you guys what it is all about. And this church was consecrated sometime around 1912. It is of course a Catholic church, and over there is Saint Elizabeth of Hungary. And as you guys can see, over there is a tree. And why not? I'm going to enter the church to find out what it's all about. Unfortunately, on Google Maps, it does say closed. But as you guys can see, yeah, let me peek in for a bit. Okay, guys, inside is the church. As you guys can see, it is quite fancy, just like any other church. It is built in the Art Nouveau style, and as you guys can see, you can see the blue theme from even inside. Unfortunately, I cannot show you guys the inside as it is currently closed. I know it's kind of ironic, yeah, but I'll show you guys the hours. Yeah. Okay, guys, I got my bag, and I'm currently at the Navy Centrum. Now I'm looking for the bus station so I could take the bus to Prague. Okay guys, after some time I'm finally in the bus station, and I ordered some McDonald's over here. Let me show you guys. Over here, 2 sets of fries, 4-piece nuggets, and over there is the Big Mac, and I actually got a water instead of a soda. So why not? I'm gonna eat until the bus comes. After half an hour, yes, half an hour, the bus finally arrived. This is the Flixbus. I'm gonna see you guys in the bus, and as you guys can see, this is the double-decker bus. So see you guys there. Okay guys, over there is the S&P Most, and as you guys can see, that is the UFO Lookout Tower. Okay guys, I'm deep into the Czech Republic, and let me talk through the Bratislava Castle, as the Bratislava Castle is the main castle of Bratislava with 4 corner towers making up the rectangle. And the Bratislava Castle stands on a rocky hill after Little Carpathians, directly above the Danube River. It was built in the 9th century AD using material from old Roman buildings. The well-fortified castle was one of the few in Hungary, yes, Hungary, to withstand Mongol attacks. After the Ottomans conquered present-day Hungary, the Hungarian capital was moved to Pressburg, aka Bratislava, and the Holy Crown of Hungary stayed in this castle. Due to a fire in 1811, the castle and some parts of the town were in tatters, and in the 1930s, efforts were made to demolish it, but instead, in the 1950s, the castle was restored to its original glory, and now it is a tourist attraction. Okay guys, here is an extensive list of attractions I've not visited. The Bratislava Castle, that takes too much time. The Most and S&P Bridge, UFO Tower, and Sadjanka Krala Park. Unfortunately, I did not have enough time. The Eurovea, unfortunately, did not have enough time, but there is a mall I have visited, the Navy Mall, which is the mall next to the bus station. The Slovak National Theatre, Slovak National Museum, Slovak National Gallery. Unfortunately, there are timing constraints, but the fact is, I have visited the Narodny Museum, aka the National Museum in the Czech Republic in Prague 2 years ago, and of course the Blue Church inside. Unfortunately, it has closed, and also I did not go inside any of the Michael's Gates Museum. So that sums up everything that I've missed in Slovakia. Here is my verdict on Slovakia. It is definitely a recommended place to visit. There's a ton of history relating to Pressburg, as well as even the Royal Hungary. And not only that, many of the tickets are quite affordable, and also the food here is quite affordable as well. In fact, I only had to pay like €7 for like that rice combo at a Vietnamese restaurant. And also I only had to pay like a bit more than $40 for a 3-star hotel in the center of Bratislava, which is walkable to the whole city center. In fact, I only had to use public transportation once to go from the train station to the hotel. So thank you guys for watching. Please give a big thumbs up, subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you guys soon. And I do believe Bratislava is quite underrated, especially compared with the likes of Prague, Vienna and Budapest, as Bratislava kind of sits under the shadows a bit.